You've been waiting for someone to finally tell you, it's over, haven't you? Not just the hard part, not just this exhausting season, but the test itself, the one you didn't even realize you were taking, the one that's been quietly measuring something deep within you, something no one else could see, something no shortcut could prove, a test that could only be passed through endurance, through choosing what's right when doing the wrong thing would have been easier, through staying soft in a world that kept giving you every reason to become hard. And here's the truth you've been needing to hear. You passed. Take a second and let that sink in, because your destiny, the life that's been orbiting around you, waiting patiently in the unseen, can finally reach you now. Not because you suddenly figured everything out, not because every wound has healed or every doubt has disappeared, but because you've become someone who can finally hold what's coming without destroying it. Someone who understands its value, because you remember what it felt like to not have it. Someone who won't take it for granted, because you lived through every moment of lack, confusion, and waiting. That's what this entire test was for. Not to break you, but to build you. To shape you into someone who can carry the weight of answered prayers without collapsing under them. Someone who can walk through open doors without shrinking, without apologizing, without questioning whether they belong there. Let this land deeply. Your worthiness was never the question. Only your readiness was being refined. And now, you're ready. The universe knows it. God knows it. And somewhere deep inside you, beneath the exhaustion, beneath the doubt, you know it too. But here's the part you couldn't see while you were in it, while you were enduring, while you stayed faithful through delay after delay, while you chose integrity when no one was watching. Your destiny was being protected. It wasn't being withheld because it wasn't yours. It was being held back because the timing wasn't aligned yet, because you weren't ready then, because what's coming is so deeply aligned with who you truly are, that receiving it too early would have been a burden, not a blessing. So it waited. And while it waited, you were being refined. And now something has shifted. The distance between who you are and what's meant for you has finally closed. You've been feeling it, haven't you? Maybe you didn't have the words for it, but you've noticed the way peace is replacing the panic in your chest, the way your decisions are coming from clarity instead of fear, the way you're no longer entertaining what you once begged for. Read that again. You're no longer chasing what you used to settle for. That's not coincidence. That's transformation. The way you look at yourself now, it's different. Not perfect, but real. Not forced, but aligned. You're no longer pretending to be someone just to survive. You're finally becoming who you were always meant to be. Quietly, privately, powerfully. And that shift, that's your evidence. That's how you know the test is over. Because the hardest part was never the waiting. It was who you chose to be while you were waiting. Staying kind when people were cruel. Staying hopeful when everything felt hopeless. Staying aligned with truth, even when truth cost you comfort. You didn't just wait, you stayed true. And every single time you made that choice, every moment you chose integrity over approval, truth over convenience, faith over fear. You were building a foundation strong enough to hold what's coming. Because destiny doesn't respond to desire alone. It responds to readiness. And readiness isn't perfection. It's transformation. It's becoming someone who walked through fire and came out refined instead of destroyed. And look at you, scarred? Maybe. Tired? Definitely. But refined? Without a doubt. Now here's the part that might hit you the deepest. Your destiny has been trying to reach you this entire time. Circling, waiting, watching, waiting for the exact moment you stopped running from yourself. Waiting for the moment you dropped the mask. The moment you let go of who you thought you had to be. The moment you stood still, raw, honest, real. And now, it recognizes you. It sees the version of you that has emerged through all of this. The version that doesn't need permission anymore. The version that knows their worth is not negotiable. The version that can receive love without suspicion. Success without sabotage. Abundance without guilt. That version of you, that's who your destiny has been waiting for. And that version is who you are right now. One day, maybe not today, maybe not even soon, but one day you're going to look back at this season of your life and you won't feel the same weight you feel right now. You'll see it differently, clearer, wiser, with a kind of understanding that only comes after you've made it through. Because what feels confusing now What feels heavy, unfair, or even painful will begin to make sense in a way it never could while you were living inside it. Those delays that frustrated you, they weren't denials. They were protection. Quiet, unseen protection that kept you from stepping into something you weren't ready to carry yet. Those closed doors that made you question your worth, they weren't rejection. They were redirection, guiding you away from paths that looked right, but weren't aligned with who you're becoming. And that loneliness, that silence that sometimes felt unbearable, it wasn't abandonment, it was sacred space. Space that stripped everything away so you could finally meet yourself without distractions, without noise, without needing anyone else to tell you who you are. Space that taught you how to sit with your own thoughts, to understand your own heart, to become someone who doesn't depend on external validation to feel whole, seen, or enough. Because real strength is built in those quiet moments no one else witnesses. Every painful moment you went through, it had a purpose, even the ones you still don't fully understand. Every loss you experienced, it wasn't just loss. It was space being created. Space for something better, something deeper, something more aligned. Every ending you resisted, every goodbye you didn't want to say, it was making room for a beginning you couldn't have imagined back then. And now, look at where you are. Pause for a second and really take that in. You're not the same person you were when this all started. You're standing somewhere new, somewhere more aware, somewhere more grounded, somewhere more aligned with who you truly are. You may not have everything figured out yet, but you're not lost anymore. You're ready in a way that doesn't need validation, ready in a way that feels quiet, but certain, ready in a way where your destiny can finally find you, because you've stopped running from yourself. So hear this clearly and don't rush past it. The test is over, not because you've become perfect, not because every flaw has disappeared or every wound has healed, but because you've become true. And truth is the only place where real alignment exists. You can't fake your way into the life that's meant for you. You can't perform your way into purpose. You can't pretend your way into peace. You have to become it. And that's exactly what you've been doing. Quietly, consistently, even when it didn't feel like progress. You became stronger. You became more aware. You became more honest with yourself. And now that you've become it, what comes next doesn't require force. It doesn't require chasing. It doesn't require you to prove anything to anyone. It only asks one thing of you. Stay who you've become. Stay open, even when it feels vulnerable. Stay honest, even when it's uncomfortable. Stay grounded, even when things start to change quickly. Stay ready to receive, without trying to control how it arrives, when it arrives, or what it looks like. Because what's meant for you doesn't need to be forced into your life. It knows how to find you. Your destiny knows exactly where you are now. And for the first time, you're not hiding from it. You're not running from it. You're not doubting whether you deserve it. So it's not a distant promise anymore. It's close, closer than it's ever been. It's not something you have to chase anymore. It's something that's been moving toward you this whole time, waiting for you to finally slow down, stand still, and allow yourself to be found. And if this message reached you today, don't brush it off. Pause, because this isn't random. You didn't just stumble into these words by accident. There are moments in life that act like quiet turning points, moments where something inside you clicks, shifts, awakens. This is one of those moments. You're standing at a threshold, a line between who you used to be and who you're becoming. A moment where everything begins to change, not all at once, but deeply, steadily, undeniably. So mark it, not just by reading this, but by feeling it. Say it, not casually, but with intention, with belief, with the part of you that knows it's true. The test is over. I'm ready for my destiny. Let those words mean something. Let them mark the moment where everything starts to shift. The moment where waiting slowly transforms into receiving. The moment where confusion begins to turn into clarity. The moment where you finally understand something that once felt impossible to accept. You were never being delayed. Not in the way you thought. Not in the way it felt when things weren't moving. When doors stayed closed. When nothing seemed to align. Because from where you stood, it looked like stagnation. It felt like being stuck. It felt like life was passing you by while you were being left behind. But that wasn't the truth. You weren't being delayed. Not really. You were being prepared. Prepared in ways you couldn't see at the time. Prepared through moments that didn't make sense. prepared through experiences that stretched you, challenged you, and forced you to grow beyond who you used to be. You were being shaped quietly, deeply, intentionally, prepared for something that required more than just desire, something that demanded a stronger version of you, strong enough to handle pressure without breaking, a clearer version of you, clear enough to choose wisely, without confusion pulling you in every direction, a truer version of you, real enough to stand in your authenticity without needing to perform or pretend. Because what's coming into your life, it's not small, it's not temporary, and it's not something you could have held on to as the person you used to be. That's why the process took time. That's why it asked more of you. That's why it didn't happen when you first wanted it to. Your destiny has been circling, patiently, consistently, never losing sight of you. Even in the moments when you lost sight of yourself, it's been waiting, not for the perfect version of you, but for the aligned version of you. The version of you that knows who they are. The version of you that doesn't abandon themselves to be accepted. The version of you that can receive without fear, without doubt, without self-sabotage. It's been waiting for you to meet it there, at that exact point where who you are and what's meant for you finally match. And now, you're here. Maybe not with everything figured out. Maybe not with absolute certainty about every step ahead, but with something deeper. You're still enough, even after everything you've been through, even with the scars, the doubts that still whisper sometimes, the moments you wish you handled differently. You're grounded enough, not easily shaken like before, not constantly searching for something outside of you to feel stable. You're aware enough, aware of your patterns, aware of your worth, aware of what aligns with you and what no longer does. You're true enough, no longer hiding behind versions of yourself that were built just to survive. No longer pretending to be someone you're not just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. And most importantly, you're ready enough. Not perfectly ready, but genuinely ready. Ready in a way that matters. Ready to receive without pushing it away. Ready to hold on to it without fear of losing it. Ready to embrace it without questioning whether you deserve it. You're ready enough for it to finally land in your life. So take a deep breath, not a rushed one, not a distracted one, but a real, intentional breath, and let this truth settle into you. The test is over. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You don't have to keep questioning whether you've done enough, grown enough, waited long enough. You have. You did. And now, what comes next? It's yours. Not something you have to fight for endlessly. Not something you have to chase until you're exhausted. It's yours because you've become the person who can finally receive it. And this time, you won't fumble it, not because you'll do everything perfectly, but because you'll show up differently. You won't question it the way you used to. You won't overthink every blessing until it turns into anxiety. You won't run from it. You won't shrink back when things start to align. You won't sabotage it out of fear that it's too good to be true. Because this time, you recognize it. This time, you trust it. This time, you allow it. Because this time, you're ready to receive it.